Hello, welcome to Podcassidy. I am here with Caleb Ashmore. How are you, Caleb?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. I was very happy to have you on. I've been talking to you for like, I don't even know how long we've been connected and been friends on here, so it was about
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. It's overdue for sure.
Drew you in with the memes.
Yeah. The memes and the witty comments is always a way to my heart.
Yeah. What have you been up to this weekend?
Um, that's kind of one of the reasons that I hopped on just in time. I've been doing a lot of yard work this weekend, which
Ugh.
is notoriously not my favorite thing to do, but it really needed to happen. It's long overdue. I think all our neighbors are probably looking at our lawn and being like, what's going on over there? Are they in the hospital? Or so uh but the reason is I just finished a very stressful summer semester in my MBA program. um, all three of the summer semesters have been brutal because it's
Yeah.
condensed and two classes at the same time, and they're just so much work. So anyway, definitely the yard gets neglected a little bit sometimes, and so this whole weekend, even though it's like hotter than hell, literally, just been out there just drenched in sweat, trying to make the yard presentable and also nice for the kids to play in. And my dog has been loving it. She's like, "Oh my god!"
Hell yeah.
I,
Do it for the
she's
dog.
just having the best time of her life. She's just like wagging her tail, running around, playing with toys, and yeah, just having the best weekend ever. So, and then the girls, I have two daughters. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old daughter, and they've been out there playing in the water. And so we have a big inflatable slide. So we blew that up today. Yesterday it was kind of cool. We also have just like a regular hard plastic slide, but they turned it into a water slide with just a water hose, and I was like, cool. And that was their idea, and they had so much fun. So yeah, we're just even though it's hotter and blazes, we're just trying to enjoy the time and being outdoors. I'd much rather be indoors. I'm much more of an indoor person, to be honest with you, especially this time of the
What
year.
state are you in again?
What's that?
What state are you in again? I
Oh,
forget.
Texas.
Everyone lives in Texas. What the heck? I
I
think
know.
I told you that during our coffee chat
hmm
too. It's
hmm
weird. I don't know why so many people live there. I guess it is a pretty big state.
It is weird. To be honest, I would prefer not to live here. It's fine, but it's just so hot in the summertime, and you just get sucked in here with good jobs and no state income tax. And so, yeah, if you're in healthcare, there's just a lot of opportunity, which is nice. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready for a change, and I'm ready for a summer that isn't a nightmare.
Yeah, it was pretty nice here yesterday. It was like low 70s. We had a good thunderstorm in the morning, which cooled everything down. Yeah, the
hmm
high today is 74.
The high, oh my god,
You jealous? The
oh
low
my
is
god,
seven.
it's I think it's 100 here. I haven't looked up the exact
Oh my
high, but then
god.
with the feels like temperature is always like 10 degrees more, so humid. So that's the hard part is like I have a nice pergola. We added a during the pandemic, we added a pergola in our backyard, and it only gives you like a modicum of relief. We even have like a fan, like an oscillating fan that's high powered, and even with that, it's just not enjoyable outside, just because it's just oppressively humid all the time. So yeah, this is just the time of year where you're either playing in the water or you're inside. Those are really the only two options.
Yeah. Serena said no one cares about your weather cast. It's okay. You guys can be
I know.
jealous.
I'm
You guys
super
can be
jealous.
jealous.
And you're in Indiana, is that right?
No, I'm in Michigan.
Oh,
The
Michigan.
far
Okay.
superior Midwestern state.
Okay. Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Michigan's cool. I've had some good friends from there. That's where you can get, wait, no, yeah, Michigan. No, I'm thinking of Wisconsin where you can get the spotted cow. You can't get that. But if you're close enough, you can probably get some spotted cow
That's
if you wanted to.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah.
Yep, Milwaukee. They produce it.
Yeah, I've never been to Michigan. Yeah. I know you guys like football. Texas likes football too. Those are like, two of the biggest football states.
Yeah. We hear a lot about football, especially I'm kind of near the area for University of Michigan. So
Okay.
like whenever there is a game, like I feel it. We feel the traffic of
Oh, I'm
it. We got
sure.
to, and
Yeah.
when I worked in retail, I had to accommodate the schedule for that. Like I would have to look at the U of M schedule and be like, okay, well
Yeah.
this is a game day, so I know that I need more cashiers to stay because
Uh-huh.
people are going to be buying stuff,
Yeah.
even though the forecast or whatever says we don't.
I'm sure a lot of people travel there too. Yeah. I mean, is that in Lansing?
Ann Arbor.
Okay.
Yeah, Lansing's Michigan State. You're close.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
Uh,
geographically challenged.
It's okay. Have you know about LinkedIn Lunatics? The Reddit, the subreddit.
I do not. No, this is news to me.
So there is okay, Dylan said Michigan sucks. He's about to get booted. That's not allowed. No
And
Michigan bullying.
Ohio. He's throwing
Well, it's
darts on
okay. We
both
can hate
sides.
on Ohio.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, so basically it's a subreddit where people take screenshots of LinkedIn posts and
Mhm.
post it there and make fun of them.
Oh,
That's
that
all that
sounds
it is.
fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. I
Yeah,
do
I
get I
love
do
when
get sucked into
people
Reddit
make fun of
sometimes. I go
others.
down. What's that?
I love when people make fun of others on
Oh
a
yeah,
completely different
absolutely.
platform.
Yeah, I have to be
It's
careful with
death.
Reddit because like I could really get sucked into some Reddit holes. Like I'll go searching for something and then I'll look and see if anybody feels the same way I do, and then I start just reading comments and I just go, before you know it, you've wasted like 30-45 minutes on one thing. And so, but no, that sounds fun. I'll have to check that out.
I do scroll every so often just to see if there's anyone that I know.
Yeah.
Um, and our very own Aaron Ciccarello, who is in the comments, he was featured on there
Oh yeah.
twice in like 24 hours.
Oh
And I
geez.
was watching a YouTube video yesterday where they were going over LinkedIn Lunatics, and believe it or not, they pulled up his fucking post.
Oh my gosh.
I saw Aaron Ciccarello on my TV screen. I
Wow,
took a picture. I texted it to him. I was like, "You made it to YouTube, dude!"
that's
Like that's
hilarious.
so crazy.
What was the post?
He had announced that he was getting ready, like taking his green banner down. Like he had made a post that he was about to start a new job. He didn't
Yeah,
say like quite where yet,
sure, sure.
but people like to tear down others, so they
Oh, so
like
it's just being mean for for fun,
yeah,
entertainment. Gotcha.
yeah, literally
Yeah,
like
yeah.
announcement about an announcement. Like
Okay, that is pretty
lots of
funny.
people care about that, or the fact
Yeah,
that like it was made with AI. There's so many people that make stuff with AI. Like you know
yeah,
what I
oh yeah,
mean?
for
Like the
sure.
whole purpose is to hate,
Yeah.
but um most people can most people have a good are a good sport about it
hmm
when they're
No, that is
featured.
pretty funny actually. And I know that like even having the green banner is kind of controversial. Some people think it's, I don't know, has the opposite effect, I guess. I don't know. I think, hey, if you're looking for a job, man, do what you got to do.
I know. Yeah.
So, has he announced where he's going to be working?
You know what? That's a good question. Let's go to his profile and see.
If you're going to have an announcement about an announcement, then that announcement
No,
better
it's
come pretty
been
quickly.
2 weeks. Oh, his start date's on the 24th, so that's why.
Oh, so he's not going to announce it
He's
until that
starting
day.
tomorrow.
Interesting. And he
All
posted this
right.
when?
2 weeks ago.
That seems a little, I don't know, that seems a little early. A lot can happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to just have an offer, but no, I tell people all the time when they're job seeking too, like until you actually start, like, fill out all the
Yeah.
paperwork that
Uh-huh.
makes you like one of their employees, like,
Mm-hmm. A lot can
the
happen.
offer is just as good as that piece of paper is.
Absolutely. No, I know. I'm with you. I keep things much more close to the chest until everything is official. On that note, my wife is really nervous about what I'm going to say on a live podcast. So she's like, she's kept reminding me, be professional, be professional. You never know who's going to see that. I'm like, it's going to live on the internet forever. And I'm like, okay, you're going to stress me out. Stop. Like, but she knows how I can be. So it's, uh, it's actually good advice.
Well, if I didn't believe in your ability to filter yourself live on camera, I would not have brought you here.
Yeah, well, our last chat, got into some pretty crazy stuff. So
That's true.
I'm gonna try to keep professional and also show my personality. But I'm with you, Serena. I want to get on LinkedIn Lunatics now. I'm gonna make it my goal that I got to get on there, but I probably won't know about it, and so you'll have to just tell me, Cassidy, if I get on there. Screenshot
Okay.
it, send it to me. I'm gonna make it
Yeah.
my mission. Let's see. We're getting close to the end of this year. That's my 2027 goal.
Okay. Gotcha. Um, yeah. If I see it, I'll let you know. If I am on there, I won't read the comments because I don't want to know what they have to say. But I do like knowing that I made it.
Yeah. I don't care. I mean, people can roast me. That's fine. I could take it.
Yeah, I guess in my eyes, I feel like if I know that's all that is probably going to be there,
Mm,
why am I going to open myself up to that and even
okay.
invest in a way?
Okay. So if you get on LinkedIn Lunatics, it's going to be all negative. Is that what you're saying?
Likely, yes. It's
There's
almost
nobody,
always negative. Almost
nobody
always.
ever supports you on there. There's no kind.
No, it's Reddit. Are you kidding me?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's just like this person's cringe. Let's all pile on. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, maybe I had to start posting like purposefully cringe things to get on there. I'll think
Yeah.
about it. I need to brainstorm around this. And also, I need to do some recon because I've never actually seen it. So I'll pull it up and research some today.
Yeah, it usually if I do make it on there, it's one of the like unhinged memes that I posted that I thought about twice before posting and decided to do anyway. And
Yeah.
then it got there. I was like, yeah, I knew that one was
Mhm. Mhm.
a little much, but
Oh yeah, we've all been there. I've posted quite a few things that my wife will later tell me to take down. Usually I stand my ground, but every now and then I'm like, yeah, okay, you're probably right. I probably should delete that.
man, it's probably for the best that my husband isn't posting on LinkedIn because I would probably do the same thing and be like, why are you posting about that?
Hmm. I know
Depends.
she's not really on there hardly ever, and so I sneak a few things that I'm like, I hope she doesn't see that. But then on the off chance that she does log in and scroll, she's like, no, you can't say that.
Yeah.
If you want to get a job someday. I'm sure I've posted things on here that are have probably kept me from getting a few jobs, which is fine. Those were not the jobs I wanted anyway, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I tell a lot of people this too. Um, with so much AI in like everything we do, like you do have to be a little unpolished and messy and
Yeah.
yourself
Mm-hmm.
to stand apart because otherwise
Yeah. No, I
you just
agree. I agree. Sometimes, like, I'll write something. It's so weird. You're exactly right. I'll write something myself, and I'll end up second guessing something I wrote because I'll look at it and I'll say like, this sounds too good. Um, no, seriously, like, seriously, like I'll
oh
write
my
like an
god, I did
email.
such a good job.
I, no, I'll write like an email. Like I have a pretty decent vocabulary. I read a lot. I thank my mom for that. She's got a really nice vocabulary. But like I'll write something and I'll be like, no, that's a little too good. And so I'll purposefully leave in, I can't do a misspelling because I have to spell things correctly, but like grammatical errors and stuff, I'll
Hmm.
purposefully leave stuff like that in there so that they know a human wrote it. So anyway, even though I notice, I'm like, because I'm a little bit, I'm not diagnosed OCD, but I do have certain tendencies where I like have a really hard time. Like I'll
Yeah.
add, commas into like text messages. I'm that guy. I shouldn't, but I'm like, I can't not put this here. It bothers me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's weird to like purposefully leave errors in there, errors in grammar and stuff like that, just to be like, hey guys, I spent time on this. So
Right.
didn't waste water.
I know. I yeah, I mean, I think it's only been like one time where someone was like, "Did you use ChatGPT for this?" And it wasn't even like a post. It was like an answer I had given to like something they had asked me, and I was
Mhm.
like, "No."
Yeah. How dare you?
um,
How dare
but yeah, I mean, it is what it is in that
Yeah,
regard.
I know. I agree. I really try to I'm pretty anti AI, to be honest with you. I try to use it as little as possible, but there are certain aspects of my job, where I'm just like, I'm not going to spend hours on this. And unfortunately, I will occasionally do that, but it's just like for example, we're like looking at ways of revamping how we do the productivity in our department, because it's very tedious and time consuming. And like some places where you work, they have whole departments that'll just do that for you, and they'll
Yeah.
deliver, hey, here's your productivity. But for us, like I'm a supervisor, and so we do it in our like by hand essentially, and so with spreadsheets and things like that. But then so we were like, one of my employees came up with a way that I think would actually improve the process quite a bit. And so I was literally about to start working on that the other day, and implement the changes into the spreadsheet that they had suggested. And I was like, yeah, I think this might work. We're going to trial it for a couple months and see how it goes. And then one of the directors for the other department, or from the other pavilions, he said, I'm looking into doing a use case so that Copilot will do our productivity. And I was like, yes, let's do
Hmm.
that, because that'll be a lot easier. And, and then if there are errors, it's not my fault. It's the robot's fault. So I don't know. I'm all about working smarter, not harder. And
Yeah.
when it comes to stuff like that, and spreadsheets are mind numbing to me. So
Yeah. I completely forgot what I was going to say. They're talking in the
it's
comments about AI, and then
yeah.
it drew, it caught me off guard. Um,
I'm purposely trying not to look at them unless I see my name, because I could get easily distracted with my ADHD. I am medicated though, so I think I'll be able to hopefully stay on task.
Perfect. I'm proud of you, Caleb.
I'm doing okay. I didn't mention up top, but this is my first ever live podcast interview. So, but I think it's going pretty well so far.
Hell yeah,
We're almost
it's
20
going
minutes
great.
in. We're doing okay.
Hell yeah. um, how long have you been doing physical therapy for? Did you go like plan to become physical therapist? How did you get here?
That's a good question. I wanted to be a veterinarian initially. I was in high school and I was working for a local vet from a very rural part of Texas. So I was working for a local vet for a couple of years, trying to figure out, is this something I want to do? And he did a lot of large animal stuff. And hey, Jordan, I did see my name in all caps.
Yeah,
So
she's
yeah,
like,
I worked
Caleb,
for.
look here.
You got me. Stop messing with me. Yeah, I'm trying not to look now. I'm just gonna look up. No, I worked for a vet for a couple of years. He did a lot of large animal stuff, and I wasn't like a huge fan of that. And I also did not like putting dogs. It was really sad. And so I was just like, I don't know that I want to do this. What else could I do? So then I had a couple pretty serious injuries playing football. I'm on legal drugs. That's correct. And
I put in here legally. I got you.
right, thank you. Yes, let's clarify. And so yeah, so then I got had a couple serious football injuries, and then which led me to go through the PT process a couple of times, unfortunately. But then I was like, you know what, I could do this for a living. I knew I kind of wanted to do something somewhat medical. I also really love history, and so I was kind of torn between something medical, something in history, and I just figured there would be better job opportunities in the medical field, which is true. But I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, like in high school, to like think logically like that. I probably should have just followed my passion, which is history. But now I get to kind of do that as like a side thing. So I just love, yeah, I love history. So I would have been like a history professor probably or something like that. I don't know, maybe written some books. Anyway, so then I went down the PT path and I never deviated from that. So my brother once told me that I was lucky to figure out what I wanted to do in high school. And I was like, not really, because I still have knee pain and like I still kind of feel that injury a little bit. But
Yeah.
it did lead me to where I am now, and I'm grateful for that. And so, yeah, I've been a PT for over 13 years, and I've been a supervisor for the past 5. And I work at Harris Health here in Houston, which is the largest safety net hospital system in Texas, and one of the largest, I think the 5th largest in the country, if I'm not mistaken. And so, what a safety net hospital system is just it's a hospital system for people who are either uninsured or underinsured, because everybody needs to get healthcare and will get healthcare. And so the reason that we exist is because, like, let's say you're in a super serious car accident and you might die. Well, they're not gonna take you to our hospital. What they'll do is they'll take you to the nearest hospital that'll save your life. And if you do not have insurance, then they'll send you over to us once you're stabilized. And so it's a big cost savings for everyone, because if safety net hospital systems didn't exist, then everybody's premiums would go up super high, because those without insurance are, again, going to seek medical care, and it's a lot more expensive to not get preventative care too. So, long-winded answer to that question.
No, it was the way that you brought it back, talking about like the specific hospital system and like the good that it does and how that works. Like it was very much appreciated. Like
Thank you.
I love that. That's amazing.
Well,
What a
one other
great
thing
thing
that's
to do.
kind of cool, well, it's not cool, but one of the things is that we take care of, in Harris County, we have the most uninsured individuals in the country. That's a bad thing. But the good thing is, so we're busy. We're very, very busy. And so it's really kind of a mission, and we all enjoy it. I mean, you don't really, because it's challenging. A lot of our patients are a lot more unhealthy and have a lot of comorbidities. Some are not citizens of the United States. And so the cool thing is, in our system, all you have to do is prove that you live in Harris County. So you just have to reside here. You do not have to be a U.S. citizen, or have a social security number, anything like that, and we will take care of you. So it's really cool. There's really high level care here. I think a lot of times people think of like a county hospital system, and there's sort of like the stigma of like, oh, I don't want to go there. But honestly, more people should, because we have some of the best care in the city, if not the best. The show ER takes place in Cook County, which is another safety net hospital system, one of the largest in the country. And so, yeah, I love it. I've worked at Harris Health for over 13 years, my entire career, either full-time or part-time. I've left and worked other places, but always worked here at least part-time. And I did a couple rotations at Harris Health too. So for me, it's like, it's kind of just being part of something that's very meaningful and impactful where I live locally. So I love
Yeah. That's amazing. Wow. Wow. That's like all I can say about it. Like
that.
that's so amazing.
Oh, thank
And you
you.
have such a great
Amberine. I gave math vibes
yeah, that's what
because of my
Amberine
glasses.
said.
Well, it's funny she says that because I am wearing a Callous Cowboys shirt, which is one of my favorite bands, and
Mm-hmm.
it is mathcore.
Yeah.
Have you heard of mathcore?
Mm-mm, I haven't.
Yeah, it's
No.
like hardcore music, and I'm not a musician, so somebody might sound off in the comments if I'm wrong on this, but I think it means that they like strategically change time signatures a lot with their music, kind of like Tool does, but it's different. It's I guess maybe like similar to that, but also with a lot of screaming and other different types of music blended
Look
in.
it up. Mathcore after
Um,
this.
Mathcore. So
I
yeah.
got it.
However, unfortunately, I'm not that good at math. I try to look smart and sound smart.
Okay. You try to fool people with it.
Yeah, I'm glad I fooled some.
Yeah. Jordan was asking about pet physical therapy. If you
Yeah,
did
that's a
that.
thing. That's a thing. I considered that actually. Well, I actually didn't know that that existed because like in my very rural part of Texas, they didn't have that. But
Yeah.
toward the end of PT school, I think it was like in our last semester, if I'm not mistaken. It's I think a 3-year program, and so like toward the end, they had some like non-traditional clinicians or like different kind of non-traditional career paths you could go down with PT. And that was one of the ones that they had come in, and I was like, oh my god, this could blend the two things that I wanted to do. And so there's just there's not as many opportunities for that. Selfishly, they don't get paid as well, which kind of sucks. I think the problem is like most people don't have pet insurance, so you would have to pay cash for that. And so I think, and people I think are some people, depending on where you are, probably a little bit more reluctant to fork over a lot of money for cash with cash
Yeah.
to for their pet. There's a lot of people that they're just like, not how I feel, but a lot of people feel this way, like, oh, why don't I just put this dog down or something and then get another one. Like there are unfortunately a lot of people like that. So yeah, I think it's more seen as like I think a luxury and less of a need for dogs and animals. Unfortunately, I think
Yeah.
it's extremely important, and yeah, I would love to do it. There's just not a whole lot of places that do it, unfortunately.
Well, Jordan's over here telling you that you need to open your own business doing it in conjunction.
That's not a bad
um
idea.
but
Good idea.
no, Jordan's story, you should, if you're not connected with her, you need to be. Like her story is insane.
Yeah.
Um
Uh, you started she started the Canine Stroke Foundation, right? Yeah.
yep.
So I didn't even know that existed, which is wild, until I met you, Cassidy, and you told me about it. So you've taught me things. She has
Yeah.
taught me things, and she told me about you, and I think we are connected maybe on LinkedIn, so we can talk more about that. But I love animals. I love them so much. I have right now 2 cats and 1 dog. Unfortunately, we just had to put one of our greyhounds to sleep. Unfortunately, he had bone cancer. So,
Oh,
and then the one before that, we had 2 greyhounds, and we had to put them both down about a year apart, a year or 2 apart. So, both bone cancer, which is very common in greyhounds. But anyway, so
that's hard.
love me some animals, man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Uh Kathleen was asking if you could talk about the subject of pain and how you work patients through it.
Pain.
Yeah.
Sure. It's the majority of our patients do have pain. It's pretty rare to have a patient who's seeing you for something other than pain. I would say it does happen. Like I have this one guy right now who's like extremely unflexible and not super well coordinated, and also kind of needs to work on like endurance and stuff. He's a piano player, but aside from that, he's the only person I have that doesn't have some type of pain. And so it kind of depends on the pain. There's more acute pain, which is like, like let's say you twisted your ankle a couple of weeks ago. you have like an ankle sprain and you go see a PT, that's more acute pain. So you can manage that in different ways because, like let's say you're still wanting them to put weight on it, exercise it, but it's more kind of a fresh injury and more acute. And so you may have to manage swelling and bruising and things like that and kind of work the person through that, but also kind of reassure. There's a lot of reassuring that goes on, in these cases of like, it's safe to do this. You need to do this. It's like, I think that if I wasn't a physical therapist, I would have a lot of those fears probably associated with injuries. I tell patients all the time, and I mean, and my coworkers as well, like if I wasn't a physical therapist, I would be in PT constantly because I'm clumsy and I get injured all the time. And I'm a very hypermobile person. So like there's hypermobility, hypomobility. Like a hypomobility would be somebody who's just like a really stiff, like think like a old man, just very stiff, not flexible. That's a hypomobile person. And then on the other end of the spectrum, like a hypermobile person would be kind of like a gymnast or a contortionist, somebody who's extremely mobile, like way more than usual. And then everybody else kind of is like somewhere in the continuum. And so it just depends on the person and what they need. But yeah, pain is tricky. It's always, I would say anywhere from like a moderate level pain to like a smaller amount of pain is pretty manageable. If they're sort of it's like a 10-point scale, so 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst pain you could ever possibly imagine, like you feel like you're dying, that kind of thing. Like if you're at the higher ends of that, it's challenging to really do a lot of exercise because you're just miserable, so in those cases, I would really say in all cases, but specifically those cases, it's really important that, that there's a multidisciplinary approach and their pain's being managed well pharmacologically. Otherwise, if they come in and they're in like 7 or 8 out of 10 pain and they're like on the verge of tears all the time, you're not going to want to exercise. You're not going to want to do much. And so, but I would say that, that does happen. I get patients that come in that amount of pain. And I would say early on in my approach in those cases is just to give them like very kind of gentle things to do, just movement, getting them moving, reassuring them that they're not harming themselves by doing this, that pain is not equal to injury. And, especially if it's a more like persistent issue, a lot of them just haven't really done much in many years, and they need somebody to kind of guide them through the process and just to tell them that like, no, it's okay. This is normal. And it's normal to have setbacks from time to time and things like that. So yeah, I see PT more, and I think a lot of PTs do now, as sort of guiding people and letting them know that this is okay. This is normal. This is to be expected and that kind of thing. And so, yes, I think I answered the question. If not, I'm willing to further clarify.
No, you definitely answered it. And the answer was very broad as well. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure you could talk for the full hour just about like
Oh yeah.
specific pains.
I can, and I'm happy to if that's what people want to talk about. Definitely, I can do that.
Ambreen did have a question. What'd she say? She said, "How do you handle people with pain who have lost hope? They must be posing a challenge."
Yeah, that's a great question. In fact, I had somebody just this past week who so this is like my 3rd time seeing this patient, and she is in this zone, which is really sad for me because when she first came, she she's had this pain for over 17 years, like a long time. And but she really likes to exercise. She's very smart and intelligent and intuitive, and so she loves to exercise. And she kind of wanted like specific exercise interventions that she could do that would help her with her very specific dysfunctions. And so I gave her those. She did really well. I probably saw her for like 2 to 3 months. Then come to find out, like she had some internal issues in the area regarding like fibroids,
Mm.
which were causing a lot of the pain.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, then she had to get those treated, and then ended up over time, you know, I would say a tough recovery process from those procedures and surgeries and
Yeah.
all that. So now this past week, I discharged her, and it was not a happy discharge because she came in and she is depressed. I talked to her about it. She's had pain for a really long time. She's feeling very stressed out and just like, I think a lot of times in these cases, like if you've had pain for a really long time, you tend to get your hopes up about a certain intervention, or, this surgery is going to be the thing that I need to, like, make my pain go away or something like that. And that doesn't always happen. So that's why I think PT is so important, because a lot of times people do think that this next surgery, that's going to be the one, that's what I need, and then I'm going to be fine. But not necessarily, because you're still going to have to rest and recover from that surgery. And then on the other end of that, a lot of times there's a lengthy recovery process if it's done correctly, depending on the procedure and surgery. And so, in this case, I just told her, like, she's not sleeping well. She's clearly depressed. She has all of the appointments coming up that she needs. I was looking at her schedule and I'm like, you're being seen by all the specialists that you really need to see right now. And I don't think that PT is what you need at this moment. So that's the hard part, I think,
Yeah.
in knowing when to, I don't want to say throw in the towel, but it's like when to put PT on hold. I told her, like, let's just get all these things situated and in order and lined up. Like, you've got the appointments you need. Let's make sure we get your pain to a manageable level. Make sure that you're sleeping. Make sure that we get the mental health and everything sorted out. And then we can revisit the PT, and you're going to be a lot more successful at that point. And so that's a tough conversation to have with someone, because it's not always a positive outcome. It usually is. Usually on a discharge day, it's a happy day. But I will say, in that case, the patient still left feeling hopeful, because there's a lot that we do as PTs, especially in my system. Maybe not so much in other systems, but like it's a very integrated system at Harris Health. And so, I get to see everything she has coming up. I can communicate directly with all of her providers, and I see that she has everything she needs. She's smart. She has the tools. I've given her all of the exercises to do. She knows all of that. But if you don't have the motivation to do them, like if you're depressed and you just don't even want to get out of bed, or you don't want to, or you're in so much pain, you're having a hard time, even cleaning your house and doing all of the daily activities that you need to do, then, like, I'm not going to ask you to exercise on top of that. Like, you need to take care of yourself and sleep and take care of your mental health, which exercise does really benefit your mental health as well. But if you're in so much pain that you can't really tolerate it, then, at a certain point, you're kind of spinning your wheels. And so that's why I told her, like, let's just revisit this when you're ready. And she was like,
Yeah.
I think that's a good plan. So again, another long-winded answer. A lot of our patients have had pain for a really long time, and it is tough and a lot. But I will say, I shared I don't want to say unsuccessful. I think in the moment, it's just not what she needed. But in the future, she will. And so, but a lot of our patients will come in and they're like, not getting off the couch or not getting out of bed. And you're able to make so much progress and so much change with those individuals that by the time they are done, they're like blown away, and they're like, oh my God, my friends and family have noticed how much more I'm walking, or, and I'm just so much happier and more active and things like that. And so that's the I would say the more common outcome, something like that. If you get a person who's doing the bare minimum, and get them doing some things, getting them more functional, getting them the right assistive device that they need so that they don't have any falls or re-injuries and traumatic events and things like that. You can make a huge difference by not doing much, if that makes sense. It's more about like simple things done really well and with enough consistency. It's all about consistency. So that's why one of my favorite books is Atomic Habits. Have you read that? James
I might
Clear.
own it.
You own it?
Actually, I
It's really
might.
good. I've read it multiple times, and it's all about not making huge, sweeping, grand changes in your life. Like some people can do that, sure, but like, how well do they maintain that? It's more about building small habits that you do like every day. Like you use the example of, let's say you don't exercise. Can you start out the first day, like put your yoga mat on the floor, and that's it. Oh, hey, buddy. What's your cat's name?
Nikki.
Mickey?
Show her off every episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. It's a she?
Yeah. It's short for Mikasa after Mikasa
Oh.
Ackerman and Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with it. My brother probably is. Is that a anime? Yeah. I just have too many kids for anime, but I do think it's really cool, and I wish I had more time for that. But anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. I don't know. Pain is tricky. And every day you see something new and unique, and yeah, that's why it's a fun job, is because it presents differently every single day, and it keeps you on your toes, and it allows you to get creative and think outside the box, which I enjoy.
Yeah. The last time I went to physical therapy was for like TMJ. I didn't even know that they had physical
Mm-hmm.
therapy for your jaw.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, well, I'm chewing and my jaw is clicking and that hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And no,
It is a thing. We have somebody that I work with who's this is kind of funny actually. She's like I would consider her like a TMJ expert now. There's not a ton of them. She's really good at treating the TMJ. And the reason that she is so good is my TMJ, actually, because she when she was going through residency, I was a student and I was having like so much clicking and popping and pain. And I had her treat me literally just a few times. Over the years, I think she's treated me 3 or 4 times, and I'm good now. I don't have any issues. And we found out the issue is I was chewing a ton of gum. I don't chew gum anymore. Seriously. I don't chew gum anymore, and I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Occasionally I'll like yawn too big and it'll pop, and then it sucks for like a day. But it was one of the last time she ever had to treat me, which I think was about a decade ago. It's been a while. We've worked together for a long time. And she's a much smaller than me. She's a shorter person, and she has much smaller hands too. This is a funny story. She tells she's the head of our orthopedic residency. So she tells every single group of new residents that we have about this. So she was like putting her hand in my mouth to mobilize the TMJ.
I did that.
And it was funny. She was like, I was in a ton of pain that day. And I was like, please, Sarah, help me. And so she sticks her hand, puts gloves on. She sticks her hand in my mouth, and she's like going to mobilize the jaw. And she was like, Caleb, stop biting me. Caleb, stop biting me. Caleb, stop biting me. Stop biting me. She was like, so she started like frantically, stop biting me. I'm like, I'm trying not to bite you. My muscles were like so just, I don't know, just angry. I couldn't open my mouth enough to not bite her. And so I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm biting you. So yeah, that was the last time she treated me, but she never had to again. Like, I think I just, I stopped chewing gum, and I tried to not yawn as big as I used to. You can also like put the tongue to the roof of your mouth, and there's different little tricks and things that you can do to try to avoid it if you're a super mobile person like I am. But she even treated my brother for the same thing. He was having issues. I think it's kind of genetic factors too, probably playing into that. But we're hypermobile.
What was the name of the thing that they did? I'm trying to remember, but it was like little needles
Yeah, dry
that
needling.
had like the electric like
Uh-huh.
pulse to it. We did
Yeah,
it
yeah,
here. We did
yeah,
like my upper back and stuff.
yeah,
It was kind of crazy, and I was
yeah,
scared, but then it actually really helped, and I was
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, I can
It
move my
does.
shoulders." I'm
Yeah,
like, I might need to go back, to
it
be
does
honest.
help. It does help. I haven't had that done in a while, but when I was in residency, one of our mentors, he did it to my face. And then the next day, I forgot that he did it. Like one of them literally was like into the TMJ joint. That one did not feel great. But then the ones around it felt pretty good. And then the next day, I was in residency, so I was like just trying to make it day by day. I was like very stressed
Yeah.
out and not sleeping well. And I woke up the next day and I was like, oh my God, why does it feel like somebody punched me in the face? And it was just sore. I was just like really sore for a day after that. But then I did feel a lot better. Like you said, it did help. So yeah, dry needling can be really helpful. I do dry needling as well in different areas of the body. Just a bit that, there's some research. There needs to be more. It's like not great for the knee, but it is very helpful in certain issues like back pain, neck pain, stuff like that. So.
Hmm. What is going on in the chat? I heard someone say, well, I heard as
Maybe
if I
Caleb
was
knows. What is the
right. That's why I'm like, what does Caleb maybe know?
uh what do we sorry. Oh, did somebody talk about blood flow restriction? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, Jordan said they use the horrible blood pressure cuff thing on my legs to reduce blood flow while I exercise. That was pain.
Yeah, that's really cool. So
That's
we
cool.
oh yeah, it's awesome. It's very uncomfortable, but it works really well. Okay, so I'm gonna nerd out a little bit, but it started out in San Antonio. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the clinic, but they started out using it with veterans who had like really traumatic injuries from war.
Hmm.
And the reason it works, it's really cool. So basically, they put a fancy blood pressure cuff on a limb. So like, let's use your leg for example. Let's say you have like a seriously traumatic knee injury, okay, for example. And then let's say they go in and they reconstruct everything, but then you cannot tolerate higher loads, obviously. Like, let's say I don't know, when you get done with your surgery, you can't do, let's say, like 100-pound leg extension, right? Because
Right.
it's too heavy.
Yeah.
But what you can do is restrict the blood flow to the extremity. And the studies have shown that by doing this, the blood pumps into the limb, but then is restricted from coming back. You don't restrict it fully. You restrict it about 80% or so. Okay.
Hmm.
And by doing that, I think there are some mechanisms that are not fully understood yet, but they think it's on the cellular level of when the blood pumps into the limb and then is not then able to all of it make it back up as easily. It has to kind of stay in your limb, right? Where at the site of the injury.
Hmm.
But you can do, as she said, it is very intense. The feeling, it feels crazy. Like, but then they'll do like a lightweight, like so instead of let's say you normally do on the leg extension machine, let's say you normally do 100 pounds, like then you might do 5 pounds, but it feels like 100 and you do a lot of repetitions. So you're basically getting all of that blood pooling in the area. And then whatever cellular factors, to be quite honest, I'm not a biophysicist or anything like that. It gets deep, right? And I think they're still trying to figure out exactly the true mechanism of that. But yeah, it has shown to be super effective. You'll even see gym bros doing it too. They shouldn't be, but they're in the gym. A lot of guys do it. Just they're like, I got to get this pump, and they'll cut off the circulation to their arm, and then they'll lift like lower weight at much higher amount of reps, and then get similar effects, which is cool.
Hmm.
So it's less strenuous on the body, actually. Like it feels crazy, like it feels really, really hard, and like it feels like, I don't know, like you're hurting yourself. You're not, though. So it's, if you do it with a physical therapist. Now, if you do it by yourself, you're on your own. But if you do it with the guidance of a PT, you're doing it safely, and you can have some really awesome benefits and improvements in strength and load tolerance at much lower loads. So it's less dangerous, actually, than if you were just trying to push really high loads in a more acute phase of an injury, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hopefully I.
No, that did make sense. And we are all for the nerding out. And Breen even said, nerd out. We're all here for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will. I can nerd out on a lot of topics. But I really, yeah, blood flow restriction is really cool. And so in patients that have had pain for a really long time too, right? Like, same thing. If your knees hurt for 10 years, like, I'm not going to ask you to all of a sudden lift 50 pounds. But what I might do is, strap that cuff on your leg and then say, push against 5 pounds, which is a lot more, just wrapping your mind around that is a lot more feasible to you. Right. And just say, like, you tell the patient, this is going to be uncomfortable, kind of intense. Right. But, and you'll be sore. You do get real sore from it too. But it's great. And it helps. I've used it for myself. For some really bad elbow pain I was having when I was volunteering at an animal shelter after Katrina. Not Katrina. What am I talking about? Harvey. After Hurricane Harvey, and I was volunteering at this animal shelter and walking a lot of pit bulls that have never been on a leash before, and they were just pulling the heck out of my arm. And then all of a sudden, I just had this like crazy elbow pain from all these pit bulls. And then I also came to find out I should have been. I got leash trained later to figure out like how to hold a leash to where it wouldn't cause all this pain and stuff. I didn't know anything at the time. And I was walking them wrong, but also these dogs were like just pulling like crazy, and they're so strong, anyway, but I did. Yeah. Blood flow restriction really helped out that pain for sure.
I've never even heard of that. That's insane.
You should look it up. It's really cool. Yeah. You'll see a lot of probably idiots doing it in the gym, and they honestly should not be. Like, the thought behind what they're trying to do is there, but like their execution of it is not safe. Because a lot of them will just like tie their arm like a heroin junkie, right? Like, they'll just tie off their arm with a band, like they're looking for a vein, to spike, and then they'll lift weights with it. And it's like, well, it's better if you do it with the cuff, because then you'll know exactly what percentage you're occluding. So you don't want to cut it all the way off. You want to go like maybe 80% or so.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Unless you have a bad injury or something, then I would say try it, but it's definitely not for everybody. It's like something we have, and it's not for everyone. But post-op, it really does help.
Mm-hmm. What's another like really cool physical therapy technique that you don't get to use as often that you wish you could?
That's a good question. I've been through quite a bit of dry needling training. I wish I wasn't so busy and had more time to utilize that. Yeah. I do think it is very helpful in certain situations. I also was trained as a fellow, like a orthopedic manual physical therapy fellow. And so I know how to do a lot of joint mobilizations and manipulations and things like that. However, I don't do a ton of that anymore either. I do some. I used to do a lot more. What has been shown in the literature is like the more active the intervention is, like exercise, typically you're gonna get the most improvement out of that. And so I will like use these other interventions more as an adjunct to get a person to where they can then tolerate the exercise that I need them to do, because they're going to get the most benefit from that. And so, yeah, I would say those are the things that I wish I I wish I had like an hour to an hour and a half with everybody, and then I would do manual or dry needling on a lot more folks. But for me, it's like, and I'm lucky to even have 45 minutes with a person. But in some cases, like there's other barriers, or like they might show up late and things like that. And
Yep.
so for me, I think about like what's going to get me the biggest bang for my buck with this person's session. Like, what does this person need the most?
Yep.
And I think also due to the nature of where I work and with the patients being fairly, a lot of times having a lot of comorbidities and being, somewhat unhealthy, a lot of them really just need to exercise like a lot. So that's where I spend the majority of my time. But if I were to work somewhere else, maybe where that wasn't like the biggest, like if you get somebody who comes in and all they do is exercise, like all the time, like that's their issue. That is some people, like runners, triathletes and stuff like that. They need very specific exercises, but for the most part, they're doing too much a lot of times.
Yeah.
There are those on that end of the spectrum that they're like over exercising and hurting themselves that way. But I would say with my patients and with the vast majority of the population, it's more of an under exercise issue is typical.
I'm in that boat.
I mean, most people are. It's not unusual at all. And so I think it just kind of depends on, like, if I were to work with like all athletes or something, they're all exercising a ton, right? They will need some like specific exercises to take care of their specific issues, but it's not going to be the highest priority, maybe. Well, it might be, but there's other things that you can throw in there. So anyway, again, long-winded answer.
No, it was a great answer. We have one more question. Ambreen
I'm
said,
brainstorming with the questions today. I love it.
yeah, any advice for people trying to get fit, run to avoid injury?
Run to avoid injury. That's an interesting question. I would say that a lot of times, I'm just speaking in generalities, but I would say, and a lot of times people think that, like, I don't know if it's the couch to 5K thing. People think like, oh, this will be like the easiest thing to start doing. In a lot of cases, it's not, because I think it's because like running and jogging is something that we can just do as humans. Like at some point in your life, you learned like I can just walk, and then I can walk fast, and then if I go a little faster, I can jog, but there's so much that goes into that. And so I would say for the majority of folks, it's not a place where I actually have them start unless they're already a fairly fit person. It is nice because you don't need exercise, or you don't need equipment to do that, right? You just need ground in a relatively safe area. But I would say more often than not, I have people start out with like fast walking, or like a not. I say like somewhere in between, like not super fast, not super slow. Just go like a good pace walk for like 30 minutes most days of the week. Those are actually the American College of Sports Medicine. That's their recommendations for all people, is to do like 30 minutes of moderate physical activity most days of the week. And so I know that's kind of a boring answer, but typically I want to make sure that people can fast walk before they start jogging.
Yeah.
And then when they get to that point, like let's say they're fairly fit, fairly strong, their muscles can tolerate that amount, then I'll usually do intervals. And so I'll say, okay, you're doing fast walking, you're feeling good with that. If you really want to get into jogging, go for it, but do like a minute jog, do like 1 minute jog, and then do a fast walk for 3 minutes, and then repeat that a few times, maybe like 10 times or so, to where you've only done like 10 minutes of actual jogging, but then you've done like 3 minutes in between each of fast walking, and see if your body can handle that. And then if they do, then after a certain amount of time, let's say maybe a few weeks, then go down to a 2 minute fast walk in between, right? And then eventually a 1 minute. So then it's 1-to-1, 1 minute jog, 1 minute fast walk. And then usually after they've done that for a while, then I'll say, okay, just go jog. And usually if people do it in a slow, kind of more consistent, methodical way like that, I know it's kind of boring, but that's the way to avoid injury. I think where people a lot of times get into trouble is they do the couch to 5K, or they just go out and just start jogging. Like eventually, if you're not in great shape, you may end up in pain at that point. So I would say do the intervals and see if that works out. And if it doesn't, go see a PT.
Then go see Caleb.
Yeah, if you're in Houston, yeah, come see me. But if not, I can find you somebody. All I need is a zip code, and I can find you a specialist in your area.
All right. Well, you made it through the hour. I'm proud
Yeah.
of you.
Me too. Yeah, I got some good questions. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. What are your
And feel
closing
free to
thoughts?
reach out to me at any point. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, DM me, and I'll get back to you.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone, for coming and commenting. And yeah, there were great questions today, so definitely appreciate that. Thank you, Caleb, for coming and being on the show. It was
Absolutely.
certainly a pleasure.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, next Podcassidy will be Wednesday at 8 p.m. And that is all. Yeah.
All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, bye. Take care.